Hey there everybody, coming at you with another video. I know I didn't do one yesterday. I've been a busy week, so I'm gonna have to start probably pre-recording some of these. Just to make sure that the content's pretty regular. Now you may have seen the thumbnail from the last video that I did at the end of the month. And I did do some finishing excuse me, sorry. Did do some finishing work on the Zarya. Definitely should record that next time. I think it turned out pretty well. But there is more of her to do, so I'm gonna go ahead and just follow up on that. Let's see. Get rid of the bubble. Then we want to get rid of all of... Ooh. Not the lines. Want to get rid of all of this color. And we got our reference there. There it is. I'm like, I did save the line work there. Yeah, it was just on a different layer. Okay. So gonna finish some more of this line work. So on this arm, doesn't look like she's working with much of that same elbow guard. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started there. And I placed the hand roughly here. So I think what we're gonna have to do is kind of block it in a little bit. Draw my mouse, there we go. Alright, so her arm is here. It's going to come out this way, and can we get a thicker one? Thicker line work. There we go. Arms here, come out this way, and here. And then, of course, her fingers, which I'll do the hand pose on in a moment. Now she's got those big bulky gloves, which, just getting a look at the design specs here. They got these big ol' rings. And that's actually bulky enough that it's probably going to cover up most of the rest of what's going on here with the arm. Just the big bulky ring on this. And it's got that kind of design. On it, and then we're going to come in. We're going to work on her hand a little bit. Now her gun has two handles, and I was initially going to have her holding her gun, but I think just for the sake of the pose, I don't think holding her gun would be all that plausible. Although, I could have her gripping that hand. Well, no, because that handle's got some what do you call it? Articulation to it. So if she just holds it by that handle, it won't really work as well. So we're just going to give her a fist. Let's see what kind of... I think, Dragon Ball Z, they tend to have pretty detailed fists. Lots and lots of lines. Slightly more so than in the face. But they also actually like draw out every single knuckle, all that good stuff. So we're gonna have to try and do the same. Let's see. So let's build this hand a little bit more. So her palm is about here. And then if we're gonna do, palm's gonna come up here. Then we're gonna have a knuckle here, knuckle here, a knuckle here, and a knuckle here. Because that pinky's gonna be kind of doing its own thing. And then we're also, let's see, that's there, so then we're gonna have the pad of the thumb. And then we're gonna have that thumb, knuckle, and then the actual thumb will come out here. And then you gotta have the big, blocky DBZ fingers. And there you have it. So now we're just gonna come in here and do a little bit more detailed work on that. Let's get those out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. And it's gonna be, because there's that middle line, because if you look at your knuckle, there's sort of that middle line where it attaches to the finger. And then that middle knuckle is going to be the hard part. I think it's probably going to lean out this way a little bit. But they do the whole entire knuckle. They do a lot of really detailed fist work. A lot of detail on the fingers in general, because that's where your punches are, you know. So that's where they put a lot of the emphasis in DBZ. They put a lot of emphasis on the fists. So this is sort of a part 2 from my last video, my end of the month stream, but if you guys like this sort of content, want to see me draw more of that, of course your comments on the video are certainly welcome as to, you know, what I should draw next. And I could just keep doing this if you guys like that kind of content. Of course, if you want to see me draw other stuff, that's always welcome as well. It's not like I have a shortage of things I could draw, but if I'm not, if it's not something you want to watch, then what's the point? To a certain extent, you know. I can just draw the other stuff by myself. But I did think that finishing up Zarya was a lot of fun, and I got some positive feedback from the little icon, I guess, that I did. So I thought, hey, I'll finish it up, do a little bit more. Now, I think Zarya actually has fingernails. Or maybe not. Oh, no, there they are. Yeah, she's got fingernails, little pink fingernails. Okay. But not long ones, not long nails like maybe Symmetra does or what have you. So we're gonna just give her big old DBZ nails, because that's another thing. Goku's thumbnail is huge. Big old thumbnail. And then we're gonna build this out a little bit, because that's gonna be part of her glove. Yep. And that's where the rest of her fist is. About where that ring stops. So there you go. Now she's got a fist. It looks a little small. Gotta beef it up a little bit. Oops. Transform, make it bigger. And there's about right. Deselect that. Clean it up a little bit. And then of course I'm gonna have to go back in clean up these lines, because that's going to be real thin lines for a or real thick lines, I should say, for that, and they get kind of distorted the bigger that you deform them, or transform them, rather. So we're just going to come in here, tighten up the line work a little bit. That's a little bit better, and then we'll put some of those nice, excuse me. Some of those DBZ style scratch marks on it. Go. Now, the trick is merging that together with Zarya's obvious glove modifications. Like her whole knuckles, like, and half her fingers are kind of covered up there, so I gotta modify it somewhat as well. So now we're gonna come in here. Erase this so it gets rid of all that fuzzy nonsense that we were dealing with before. See how it looks size-wise. Size-wise it looks okay, but I think we could rotate it probably inward. So we're going to do a quick transform and rotate to about there. Don't really need to move it, I think. Maybe move it. Maybe move it just a little. So quick rotate, move it out to there. That's good. And then we'll move this down, and then we'll start adding in the glove details. So, as we can see here, she's not only got knuckle guard things there, but also metal pieces on her fingers. So, and those go all the way to like the second knuckle on the finger, which means those are going to come out to... Oh man, they're actually going to cover up most of this, because they're going to come out to right here. And that's on all 4 fingers. Comes out to about the same point. So these are all going to come out to here. And they are these little... not quite that much. Kind of squared off more than that. So square that off, and then this comes up. It's going to be this like bone-shaped structure almost, and it's going to cover it there. And come in there. It's going to look roughly like that. So we bring that in, expand that out, make that shape. Because then she's actually got these really interesting small bands that extend out and cover up her actual knuckles. Like this. those go into more silver objects on the back of her hand. And her thumb doesn't have that same stripe thing. It's interesting if you look at the gloves here, it extends all the way up through here. So that'll go all the way back across her hand. And I wonder if that actually provides any kind of support for her or not, or maybe they're just like protective plates. Or if there's something in these almost wire looking things that help her grip stuff. This almost looks like copper on her palm, and I know that copper is supposed to help with circulation or something. I remember reading that somewhere. Of course, that may be just a fake thing to help sell weird bracelets, but I remember hearing about it someplace. And she's actually got more glove there. And that little silver nub comes out to there. So that's about what her glove's going to look like when her fist is all clenched up like that. Of course, she's also going to have that metal bar. Not sure how far that's going to... I don't think that's going to stick out too much, especially with the angle that I've got her wrist at. So we're going to focus on the back here. Because this is going to come in. Like so. And then she's got these those same sort of wired things coming out from here, from this section. And you see those will spread into the palm, so I've got to do a little bit more service to the palm there. She's got the metal plating there, and then she's got some metal plating here. And that's about all that's going to show up, I think. We of course then have to come in and adjust our lines somewhat on the fingers, because they're not going to have those DBZ scratchy marks with all the extra metal. And then we're going to go ahead and merge this. And do some more cleanup. lines in here to help emphasize the shape and that it curves towards us. So we collapse those lines a bit. I don't want to go too heavy on the lines either, because otherwise you start getting into weird stuff. But that should do the trick. And then of course her gloves are identical, so we can go ahead and mirror this over, which I think is probably going to be the most efficient way to do that and make it look uniform. Because while people are not necessarily symmetrical, edit, transform, flip horizontal. It's always nice to have something you can count on. And besides, I can take this and tweak it some more. Once I've finished, and that can include things like moving the hands around, doing a little more like Photoshop style work, changing some angles, stuff like that. So I'm not really worried if it looks weird to begin with, being symmetrical like that. Plus, when I get the lighting done, it's not going to look too symmetrical either. Now, another interesting thing is, if you note over here in our references here, her back arm has that armband. So we're going to have to work that in too. So I'm going to go ahead and merge this layer down, make a new one, and this is going to be where our armband goes. And then I think that will just about do it for today. I don't want to get too into the legs just yet, and I got some other got some reports I gotta write and stuff. Art students, you know. Anyway, so she's got that armband, and given the position of the arm currently, that's actually a pretty thick armband too. It's probably gonna fall here. And kind of come up here. And it's actually gonna pinch right there. Oh, I selected the wrong layer. Or a different layer than I was planning. I mean, I'm gonna merge it all down eventually anyway, but that's fine, I can work with this. And it's just gonna do this nice pinch through here as she squeezes it into her inner elbow. And under her bicep. And then we gotta get that nice crease in here from where it's getting squashed. And that'll be that. So I'm gonna end it today. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed watching me work on her gloves there. I'll be doing her belt and probably her belt and at least the shape of her legs next time. Really enjoyed doing this, and like I said, I'm hoping to start pre-recording some, so I may work on this some more today, and you may not see it until next Saturday, just so that I make sure I don't miss any more posts, because I know between this week and last week when I was gone for a day, been feeling a little inconsistent, and I want to get back on track for that. So leave a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed watching, and as always, leave a comment if you want to see some other characters and styles mashed up, and I will catch you all on the flip side. See ya.